Hi, I'm Max, and welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. And as you can see, I'm still flying solo. Why? Because Denise is still in Durham, North Carolina, sucking up all the time that she can with her brand new grandson, Chancellor. We've got a great show. Some of the things we're going to be talking about are the Martin Luther King breakfast. We ran into a young lady that's running for political office. Also, we had an opportunity to catch up with a lady that was very instrumental in the civil rights movement. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Morning show is the best that there is, period.
Yeah, Chad, don't you make me.
Oh, I ain't working around. We are here as usual.
That's too much. This the one.
We right here.
You wake up and catch me from 6 to 10 on your number one station for R&B, Magic 101.
Destination Smooth Jazz at Kentucky Center for African American Heritage presents Bob Baldwin and Johnny Britt for an unforgettable Valentine's event. One great night, two unforgettable artists. Tickets, eventbrite.com, and Better Days Records. There may be others, but none like this.
Well, we had an opportunity to once again visit the Hope Breakfast that's put on by Alpha Phi Alpha. It's a great community event, so take a look at this. Well, we're here once again supporting the Alphas at their Martin Luther King breakfast. And as you can see, it's put on by the Alpha Lambda Education Foundation. I'm here with Dr. Teresa O'Bannon and Mr. James Bogan from Omega Psi Phi and also from Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. And one thing that's really important that we found out all the years is partnerships. And the Alphas have partnered with the AKAs. And tell us why you are such a part and think this is so important.
I have been supporting the Alpha Lambda Foundation since the beginning. I have a ministry, Emmaus Ministries, and we have had a table since the very beginning. I think that it's important for not only D9, but other ministries out in the community to come and to support the foundation as they seek to give educational scholarships to young men. I think that's very important, especially in the times that we live in, that young men have mentors and opportunities for education so that they're our future. And so they'll be able to just go out and to lead. And I think it's so important what it is that they're doing.
And as a member of Omega Psi Phi, I know you know the importance of giving back and partnership. So tell us about your relationship with with this organization, of course, the Alphas and this program.
Yes, we've been serving with the Alphas on numerous occasions, participating in their programs. And that's the beauty of the D9 of us coming together. And we all in it for the service, uplifting our communities. And I really appreciate what the Alphas have done throughout the years. Also, we know Dr. King was an Alpha himself. So, and he's laid the foundation for us to continue the dream, so to speak.
D9 has gone through a lot of negative publicity over the years. What are some of the things that we can do to make sure that it stays strong and stays relevant in today's time?
Well, I say we must continue to be active in our communities. That's one of the things. It's all about the service. So being active and participating in the events, letting the community know exactly who we are and support them as well.
And I'll ask you the same question. Why do you think it's so important for the D9 to be as strong as ever in today's times?
I think it's important that we are examples of service and what that looks like. And especially, again, I go back to our young people. I think that we are there to help prepare them for the future. And not only to inform them about the things that are going on today, but to give them what they need so that they're the leaders of tomorrow. And I can't say it enough that is one of the most important things, I think, that we are out there as examples for the upcoming generation.
Well, I'm here with Gerald Joyner, who is a member, of course, of Alpha Phi Alpha and also responsible for putting on this whole breakfast. So tell us your exact role and title.
I'm the executive director of the Alpha Lambda Education Foundation.
So tell us how this event started and why it's so important to the community.
Really, we were looking for something 13 years ago to do to give back to the memory of Dr. King. The longer we get away from civil rights and civil rights movement, the more younger generations don't know about the impact and the power. It becomes more something in history books, and we wanted to bring that memory, specifically in this community, alive.
So in terms of what you all do with the proceeds from this event, tell us how they go out and serve the community.
The proceeds for this event go directly into scholarships for young men. We are awarding 5 young men $2,000 scholarships, one that will be given in 2026 and another one renewable in 2027 for their college of choice.
You've had a lot of scholarship recipients over the years, and I'm sure you've been in touch with them. So tell us about some of those success stories.
Yes, we're going to hear from 3 scholarship recipients via video today. They're, of course, away at university. But what they'll say ultimately is they appreciate the support. They appreciate from the community, right, to know that others are invested in their success. To the financial offset, right, college is escalating, it's rising, so we're helping to be able to offset, miscellaneous expenses that they may have. And third, just the fact that someone is out here championing for them, right, in ways that they didn't even realize that the community is supportive of.
And I know there are some people who are going to see this who said, I wish I could help, but they weren't able to get here today. How can they support you?
They can always visit the Alpha Lambda Education website. We've got a donate button that is there. So please, by all means, donate. Events like this take dollars for us to be able to put on and be able to reinvest back into young people. So every dollar is important to us.
I'm here with Holden Beckett, who is one of the 2026 recipients of the Hope Award. So first of all, congratulations and welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Thank you, I appreciate it. How are you?
So tell me, what does it mean to be a recipient?
For me, it means it's definitely an honor, a level of respect and honor for me, and especially my family, since my dad is a part of the fraternity, and just him seeing me get this scholarship just means a lot to see me grow, especially as I'm about to leave for college, and it shows the level of commitment and effort I'm putting into it, and he's just really proud of me, so yes, sir, yeah.
So tell me, where are you planning on going to school?
My top choice right now is Chapman University in Los Angeles, California. They're rated number 3 for film schools, and then my second choice right now is NYU. I'm waiting to hear back from both of them right now.
Today's young people, they are much different than they were when I was growing up. So how do you, really keep together in terms of your commitment, your drive? Because there's so many distractions today that we didn't have back then.
Absolutely, I agree. I think the most important thing is to always find a moment throughout the day to take a break and rest and find something that you like to do to relax. So for me, for instance, I love listening to music. So every day after school, I always go home for about 30 minutes and just put my headphones on and listen to music, and it helps me calm down, put everything together, and get me reset for another thing to do.
I'm here with Jess Pendergrass, who is with Heaven Hill and the chief sponsor for today's event, which is the Hope Breakfast. And welcome to Urban Lifestyles, and tell us why you all are sponsoring this event.
Yeah, so Heaven Hill really believes in thriving together and the power of community. We've been participating in the Hope Breakfast since 2019, and we've been continuing to grow our sponsorship over that time. We believe in these incredible young men from our community and are just really happy to continue to support them this year.
So what's it like once you see your dollars going to such a worthy cause and you hear some of the success stories of some of these kids?
Yeah, it's just so heartwarming, and it really gives you hope, right? I think we're living in incredibly tough times, and to be able to support young people who are going to come back and help lead in this community and have a voice in this community is just invaluable. And so it's just been really inspiring to watch this organization grow over the years and to see what these young men have done.
So as you can see, the Alphas continue to do great work out in the community, and this breakfast is just another example of that. We'll take another break, and we'll be right back.
It's gonna be the morning ride. Let's go! Because you won't want to get out of the car when the Streets Morning Takeover is on the Bill's #1 for hip-hop. Early in the morning. 96.
Destination Smooth Jazz and Kentucky Center for African American Heritage presents Bob Baldwin and Johnny Britt for an unforgettable Valentine's event. One great night, 2 unforgettable artists. Tickets, eventbrite.com and Better Days Records. There may be others, but none like this.
Well, I had an opportunity to catch up with Joy McAtee, and she's a young lady that you definitely want to know because she's running for political office. And take a look at this. Well, I'm here with Joy McAtee, who is running for state representative in District 43. And welcome to Urban Lifestylez.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so tell us, what made you decide to throw your hat in the ring for this particular seat?
Well, if we're looking at the times that we're in, it's time for Frankfort and for District 43 to have fearless representation, someone who is going to be unbought, unwavering, and unrelentless in fighting for the things that we need. I mean, right now, the cost of living has skyrocketed. We're seeing our rights being taken away, and I want to make sure, one, that life is more affordable, that we're making life better, and that government is truly working for the people. And so as we are entering into waters that we could not have anticipated, I think in our lifetime, we have to have an intentional, long-term strategy towards making sure that we are building a future that our kids and future generations can be proud of.
And what do you think it's going to take to get people, first of all, to come to the polls and recognize that change is necessary?
Engagement, conversations, consistency. I think folks during election season are used to seeing folks who are running for office, asking for votes or making promises. But one of the things that I think will set me apart in this particular race is, one, my experience. I have experience in education, workforce development, nonprofits, and local government. And I have a true history of making changes that people can see, tangible changes, whether it's making sure that we're supporting our Black-owned businesses, whether it's executing on legislation through the executive branch to make sure that we are truly making life more equitable for folks in the city of Louisville and giving people something to believe in. We know that we have a long road ahead of us, but I refuse to cede any ground to what we're seeing in the legislature, at the state level, or even nationally.
And speaking of it from a national perspective, what things do you see that definitely have to happen on the national level that's going to filter down to us here locally?
We have to protect our health care. We have to have Medicaid and Medicare coverage. A significant portion of residents in District 43 rely on this life-saving coverage, and any cuts could be absolutely detrimental. And so that's one of the highest priorities that I'm looking to fight for, to expand and protect those policies here at the state level.
And I know when you're out there campaigning, you're out there every day, every night, 8 days a week. And what are some of the responses you're hearing from your constituents?
People are excited that I'm throwing my name in the ring, and they are looking for a new, fresh, young voice. And I think they appreciate the energy and the zeal that I bring, and they can feel my passion because I'm really doing this for the people of District 43 and for our Commonwealth. But I really think that we deserve so much more than what we have had and what we've seen. And I know things can't be changed overnight. And so that's why that long-term strategy is crucial for making sure that we eventually get to a place to where folks are more civically engaged, they're actually going to the polls, that we're starting to flip seats in different parts of the state. And from there, we'll start to see the change that we need.
And if people want to support your campaign, how can they reach you?
Sure, they could go to joymcatee.com. That's joy@joymcatee.com. Or I'm sorry, joymcatee.com. The website and the email, I got that mixed up. Or you can follow me on social media at Joy4Kentucky on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or look for me at Joy McAtee.
So if you'd like to find out more information on Joy McAtee, who's running for state representative in District 43, be sure to go to her website. We'll take another break, and we'll be right back.
Morning show is the best that there is. Period.
Yeah! Come on, Chad! Don't you make me...
Oh, I ain't working around. We are here as usual.
That's too much. This the one.
We right here.
You wake up and catch me from 6 to 10 on your number one station for R&B, Magic 101.
Well, it's 2026, and you probably want to be a homeowner. If you're not a homeowner, you will probably want to be involved in how you can own some real estate. Well, William Starks has some great information for you. So, William, what do you have today?
Thanks for allowing me to come by and talk to Urban Lifestyle about homeownership. Now, for the next 12 months, I'll be giving tips about homeownership. Top 3 today is building wealth through homeownership. Number 2 is stability. Number 3 is retirement. So building wealth. If you ever thought about your house as an asset, this is the time to do it. I used to think about just buying a house and somewhere to lay your head. But now when it comes to wealth building, this is the most major investment that you can have right now that you can invest in. And so when you start thinking about it, when you go look at your house, make sure that it is in a great area, the area is in a come up and not in a decline, and make sure that when you get ready to sell your house, it is sellable. Number 2, stability. On average, a renter moves every 2 years. That means there's no stability when you have kids. And I've talked to people who got kids and they always move, and every 2 years they got to go to another school. So you want to get your kids somewhere safe, somewhere stable. The third one is retirement. Now, you paid your house off in 20 to 30 years, and now you don't have that payment at the end of the year, at the end of the month. So you can now afford to help your kids in college. You can take that equity and purchase you another home, purchase your investment property, or when it's time for you to get into your golden years, you can also pass that house down to pass wealth down. So these are the top 3 this month. Tune in next month for 3 more topics. My name is William Starks. My number's on the screen, and back to you, Max and Denise.
Any questions concerning the real estate market, be sure to check out G Starks Realty. They've got information for you. Be sure to go to their website. We'll take another break and we'll be right back.
Destination Smooth Jazz at Kentucky Center for African American Heritage presents Bob Baldwin and Johnny Britt for an unforgettable Valentine's event. One great night, 2 unforgettable artists. Tickets, eventbrite.com and Better Days Records. There may be others, but none like this.
Morning show is the best that there is. Period.
Yeah, get on, champ, don't you make me.
Oh, I ain't working around. We are here as usual.
That's too much. This the one.
We right here.
You wake up and catch me from 6 to 10 on your number 1 station for R&B, Magic 101.
Willa Beatrice Brown was born in Glasgow, Kentucky on January 22, 1906. She was an American aviator, lobbyist, teacher, and civil rights activist. She was the first African American woman to earn a pilot's license in the United States, the first African American woman to run for the United States Congress, first African American officer in the Civil Air Patrol, and first woman in the U.S. to have both a pilot's license and an aircraft mechanic's license. She was a lifelong advocate for gender and racial equality in the field of aviation as well as in the military. She not only lobbied in the U.S. government to integrate the United States Army Air Corps and include African Americans in the civil pilot training program, she and Cornelius Coffey co-founded the Coffey School of Aeronautics, distinguishing it as the first private flight training academy owned and operated by African Americans in the United States. She trained hundreds of pilots, several of whom went on to become Tuskegee Airmen. The creation of the Tuskegee Airmen has been credited to Brown's training efforts. Brown remained politically and socially active in Chicago long after the Coffey School closed in 1945. She ran in congressional primary elections in 1946 and 1950 and taught in the Chicago public school system until 1971, when she retired at age 65. Following her retirement, She served on the Federal Aviation Administration's Women's Advisory Committee until 1974. Willa Beatrice Brown, January 26, 1906, and died July 18, 1992.
Well, I know it's February, and it doesn't seem like we're going to ever get warm again, but I promise you the warm weather is coming, so that means it's time to get back out on your bicycle. So take a look at this. Well, I'm back again with Nira at Middle of Town Cycling, which is the corner of Gardner Lane and Bardstown Road behind Sullivan's Bakery. And you think after 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, I could say that without any hesitation. So good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having us.
So we know the weather's changing because now it's February, January, and it's cold. And I know people are not really thinking biking, but at the same time, they are thinking biking about getting their bikes ready. So they need to start here with you and right here in the service department.
Yeah, this is about the best time you can bring your bike in. I know it's a pain to get it out of your garage and bring it over here when it's cold, but the minute that good weather hits, you wish you had your bike all ready to go. So this is the time you want to bring it in and get it all serviced and ready to go when that good weather hits.
So what does a service on a bike traditionally look like? What does that include? What do you haven't done?
So you look at of course, the main components. You want to make sure the wheels are rolling well, they're true, the brakes aren't rubbing, so the brakes get adjusted. The gears, if they are not adjusted, don't work right, get them adjusted. We also want to check basic components like if the tires are dry rotted, is the chain stretched and no longer good? Are your cable and housing good? So those are the things you want to bring it in here. We have different levels of tune-ups, and there's a basic tune-up, and then there's more other levels. But typically we just you bring your bike in, we put it on the stand, and then we go over all the bike stuff that we see. We see something's not right, we give you an estimate. And if you just need the bare minimum done, if your bike's in good shape and nothing else needs to be done, that's fine. But if you need extra stuff done, then you can kind of say, okay, let's do this today, let's this do tomorrow. But you don't have to spend a lot of money. We can either do it one thing at a time, or you can just make sure your bike is in tip-top shape for summer.
And let's say maybe you're not going to bring it in and have it like a bicycle tune-up. When you're looking at investing in a new bike, when do you know when it's time to upgrade?
Well, a lot of times, I've seen people who come here with bikes that are, several years old, but they're also very emotionally attached to it. Either someone gave it to them, or it's a bike that they rode when they were, growing up, and there's just this attachment. So sometimes they would rather just spend the money on that bike, but sometimes you just end up spending so much money that you could just invest that money into a bike that comes with warranty, comes with a free tune-up, and so things like that. So at that point, you just kind of have to decide what's the way you want to go.
So if people want to start getting their bikes in, how do they call you? How do they make an appointment? Give them that information.
Yep. So we're at 2140 Gardner Lane behind Sullivan's Bakery, and then we're at 502-882-2453, and you can reach us online at middleoftowncycling.com.
So if you've got any questions about biking, be sure to stop in and talk to Nira at Middle of Town Cycling. They've got great help for you in all areas from biking to accessories. We'll take another break and we'll be right back.
Hi, hello, it's Tyler here, and welcome to an edition of My Swaggy Wag. And that right there, 273,000 shares, is my video of my at-home spa pedicure. And people are, can I say, either very much against it or for it. But the comments were endless, and I have been replying, and then there are people replying to other people who they don't know in the comments, and it's all surrounding my pedicure style. I like to do it the way I was taught, and I've been getting a gel pedicure for over 15 years now, and people just can't seem to understand why I'm doing things the way that I am doing things. So I respond graciously, but I always put my opinion, and I always remind people to do what works for them, because that's what happens in the land of social media. There's a lot of opinions and a lot of people thinking that their way is the only way. Here's the actual video. Let me know what you all think. For my at-home pedicure, because I use gel nails and I'm using gel nail tips, I have a certain way that I do it. I clear my cuticles and I push them back the best that I can, not a lot, but just enough so that it fits my nail bed when I get ready to add on the tip. That's what I do that works well for me. Again, I'm always telling people, do what works for you. I clip my nails down pretty low, and then I go ahead and dehydrate my nail bed, because that is a key when you're using gel tips. Then I take my UV lamp, I dry the glue on there, and because I use paint pigments and I have a whole set of these highlighter colors, I don't worry about trying to have a bunch of different polishes. I just pick a color, highlight a color, and I match it. Once I finish my toenails, I then do the water part of my pedicure. And that's what people are so angry about. I mean, you wouldn't believe the comments. The next thing I did was my nails. I have not shared it yet, but I am sure people are going to be just as angry. I do the same process. This nail I did not apply any tips to. I am going with a milky pink color because I really like this color for the spring and the summer. And I go ahead and do a few coats on my natural nail after I have dehydrated it. Once I did that, I cure it under the gel lamp. I do 2 coats. Then I put on the top clear coat that you have to wipe off with alcohol. Then what I am really into now are the glazes. So I go ahead and put a glaze on top of my top coat. And I'm actually really into these ornaments on nails. So this was a rose plus 2 pearls. Then I dried it, and there you go.
Well, hopefully the next time you see me, my better half will be standing here beside me if I can get her out of North Carolina. As I said, she's having a great time spending some time with her new grandbaby, Chancellor Warren. Speaking of great things and great things coming up, don't forget, February 14th is for the smooth jazz lover or just the lover in you. Come out and join us for Destination Smooth Jazz on February 14th at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage. We're featuring 2 phenomenal artists, Johnny Britt and Bob Baldwin. Dinner's going to be available, provided by the Black Italian. We've got cigar bars and wine tastings and bourbon tastings and a whole lot more. So if you're just looking for a great evening, be sure to come out and join us. You know, I think that's our show, and that's our time, and we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles. And remember to take the shot. Bye, and stay safe.